on. You too. Yeah. This is Dan from Action Figure Magic. Today we're going to be taking a look at a very special G.I. Joe Classified figure. This is from Hasbro. This is, as some people may remember from the G.I. Joe movie, as Nemesis Enforcer. Also from the classic lines, one of the coolest G.I. Joes ever made. But the figure, the character has become a legend, so now he is immortal. He is Nemesis Immortal. He probably still does some light enforcing on the side, though. And I just want to apologize for Sergeant Slaughter. He did not fare too well during that unboxing, but still an amazing figure and an amazing person, since it is one of the few G.I. Joe characters that is actually a real-life person, not just based off the likeness of them, which is what they used to do back in the day. All the designers at Hasbro used to have their own face likeness on a character, which is pretty amazing. And let's take a look at the box. We've got some really cool art on the side of it and the front, and then on the back we have him in a really cool pose. He's got his bat wings out. I can't wait to play with those. We've got Cobra Commander in the back, reminiscent of the movie where they turned him into his true form, a snake. Many don't know this, but he once was a man.
Was a man. Was a man.
But I digress. All right, let's take a look at our Nemesis Immortal. The face is amazing. The sculpt is very reminiscent of the character versus the bonus head, which is a slightly different one. Honestly, the articulation of him is so stuck right now. I could barely move him. Doing the stop motion opening was very difficult, especially with the arms. I don't know if you go back and rewatch it, the arms don't move very well. They're very blocky up and down. But he's a big, bulky character, so it didn't really. I think it still worked, but I really have to work in those elbows and shoulders, and even the legs. He's just clunky. And usually GI Joe classified figures right out of the box. And same thing with Marvel Legends and Hasbro figures. Like maybe one or two of the joints will stick, but not all of them. Like this guy. This is just a big beefy character that needs some stretching. I think some yoga, maybe some Nemesis yoga will be good for him. And now that we've taken a look at the awesome design of the figure, let's really crack open those accessories. There's so many good things in there. He's got two creature-like backpacks. He's got some swappable hands. He's got some blades. He's got a swappable head. And let's start off with his turtle octopus type thing. It's the original figure had this backpack thing for him, which looked just like this. So it's based off of that. I always thought it was like a spore where it just kind of wrapped around people, but I think with this design they turned it into something slightly different, like a little turtle. And it looks like they did give it bendy legs, which I am super excited about because you can stop motion with bendy things. Really fantastic. So either I could have it on his back and have his arms waving around, or I could just have it walking around and just do a fun little stop motion. It doesn't even have to be G.I. Joe related. It'd just be a weird turtle octopus creature. Octopus, turtle, octurtle. I think we'll go with octurtle. So let's get this guy on this guy. So we have as you can see, the little backpack peg for him. Goes right on. And now he looks fancy. He can, during Nemesis mating season, he can use it as a peacock would do and give himself a little bit of extra flair and go and press the Nemesis mates. And now let's take a look at the bonus head. So this one comes with like a bone growth helmet thing on it. I like the original cleaner, smoother look better. So while this is awesome, I might use it in some stop motions when he's in battle. I think for display purposes, I like the original better. It's more reminiscent of the classic, but I do appreciate that they did not just go with this design, because the original pictures I saw had this design. They put both heads in there, which J. Joe Classified are not known for putting swappable. Oop, almost knocked over my camera there. I got to be careful, especially when I'm working with such a imposing figure. That would be quite embarrassing. And his weapons are these very organic looking swords. They've got cool little designs that looks like, I don't even know. They're definitely were alive at one point. And then he's got a spot on his legs that he can put them in when he's not holding them, shucking oysters and whatnot. So yeah, look at that. It's got like a claw on the back of it or a talon. That's pretty amazing. And then so it goes in his hands, and or let's just see what it looks like. It slides in. It's kind of got a very open, loose. Ah, boy, I knocked over my camera. Why do I keep doing that? I said I didn't want to do it. I said it would be embarrassing. And then here I am. And look at Nemesis Immortal just flat out judging me. That is, look at that face. That is pure judgment right there. So I'm going to be careful the rest of the review. I'm I'm sorry. I thoroughly apologize, Mr. Immortal. So where were we? We were on his leg sword sheath and just looking at these sword accessories. So that's what it looks like in there. That's what it looks like in his hand. And now we get to look at the bonus hands so he can do some fine punching. So let's take a closer look at these. They got cool little spikes on the end of it, almost like built-in brass knuckles. So when he's if he can't shuck the oyster, he can just punch it and crack it, kind of like a seagull would do. Bring it up in the sky, smash it with a rock. He's just using his fist, but there's nothing stopping this guy from eating his oysters. And now the accessory we've all been waiting for, the bat wings. These are fully articulated bat wings, and the amazing thing about these is it is a backpack, which means if I want Sergeant Slaughter to have bat wings, I could have Sergeant Slaughter have bat wings. So I feel like a lot of characters are gonna try these guys out. You got some bladed shoulder, or not bladed, bone like armored shoulder things, and we've got like a an actual shoulder joint, and then like the articulation of like an elbow on the elbows of the bat wings, and they can just move around. These are the coolest things ever. These are just amazing, and they fit the character very well. So it just makes him look that much bigger, more intimidating. He's already a gigantic figure, but now just look at that massive wingspan and just makes him look so menacing. Very enforcer esque, very immortal. Not someone I would want to be the nemesis of. So I feel bad for all of the people he chooses as his nemesis. And since he is such a gigantic figure, I mean, he's a deluxe figure, so he's massive. Not just the accessories, the actual figure itself. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to compare him to some of the other GI Joe classified figures. So in this stop motion unboxing, I have the Crimson Alley Viper, who is one of the largest figures that is just the normal release. And then we've got Cobra Commander, who's a normal size figure, maybe a little bit on the small side. And then we've got Sergeant Slaughter. So I just want to see how they all stack up, just to show just how beefy this guy is. So back to back, Cobra Commander against Nemesis Enforcer. Cobra Commander stands no chance. This guy could just Cobra Commander just starts punching him in the face. Not going to do anything. He could sneeze, and then Cobra Commander goes flying. Crimson Alley Viper is, as I mentioned, he's one of the bigger, taller characters, and you could still he's like a head taller than him. Now we have Mr. Slaughter, who is a little bit hunched over from being thrown into the box. So let's just have him stand up straight, so it is a fair comparison. We don't want to handicap our Sarge at all. Actually, looking at them, Sergeant Slaughter is still shorter, but not by much compared to the other characters. So Sergeant Slaughter is doing a pretty good job. He ate tons of his spinach, tons of his green beans, loved his vegetables, ate his vitamins. He's just a big guy. So I'd say good for you, Sarge, but Nemesis Enforcer is just, I think, the biggest G.I. Joe classified figure so far. So good for him. Also, big fan of his greens. All right, so let's just get him in one final pose for the closeout, and then we're just going to do a quick, fun little commercial at the end, so stick around for that. Actually, the swords, when we're trying to put him in his hands, are super loose. He's almost got gun hands with the trigger finger, but he doesn't come with guns. But it makes it very loose for the swords to fit in there. So I might end up going with the punching hands and just forget about the swords altogether, or just keep them in the sheaths on his legs, which I'm not. Yeah, not a huge fan of the way he holds these swords. It's just way too loose for my liking. But we're not going to give up on them for the pose. So there we go. That looks good enough. Let's get the bat wings going. So he's stretched out a little bit. There we go. G.I. Joe Classified Nemesis Immortal. Absolutely amazing. Little turtle, octoturtle, octurtle, And we got bonus hands and a head. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the commercial.
G.I. Joe Classified brings you everyone's favorite enforcer, Nemesis Immortal. G.I. Joes, you better watch out. And he's got a bone to pick, and not just the ones growing on his face. Oh no, someone help Cobra Commander. Looks like he's about to clam up. Sergeant Slaughter's not too happy about this release, but you should make sure to buy your own and bring it home in a ditty bag. An itty bitty ditty bag. G.I. Joe Classified, get your bad guy.